Hey everyone, welcome back. Now, pretty much here got the Boot Hill Express here all put together, and a couple small details all dealt with. So it's pretty much 99% done. There's a few small things here and there to work on, but not really too. Don't want to take too long to get this, as still want to get it out for today. So yeah, so hopefully everyone's enjoying their Halloween if they're going out with kids or stuff and enjoying themselves. So hope everyone's enjoying the time. So with the kit here, did go ahead. I did go ahead detail up some of the accessories that it came with, such as this plaque for the Boot Hill Express. Pretty much did it in a pretty much painted it up in a wood finish, and then just built up the layers to fade it off. Now originally I was originally looking at doing like an ash styled placard, but didn't really work well as for the black lettering I wanted to use. It just washed away all the letter or the words, so it was quite hard to read. But doing it the other way with the dark background with the bright lettering works out quite nicely. Of course, only did pretty much only did the front side, as the back side don't really get to see that much. So yeah, that I'm pleased how that turned out. And then of course got the figurine here, the skeleton cowboy, pretty much quite nicely. Got the hat, got the hat on just recently. Did detail up the base a little bit. Did it in a dirt like finish. Put a couple grains of dead grass and loose dirt. And then of course have some vegetation to give it more of like a I guess suppose in a way a graveyard like feel. Yeah, so which looks quite nice. Now, of course, the issue could be how the figure is mounted to the base, but it does have a tendency to wobble back and forth, which isn't ideal. So basically, have to prop up against the vehicle. Though I'm sure, like on the display there, it works fine. Now, put these to the side for now and get into the main vehicle. Now, didn't do, of course, didn't really do too much research beforehand, which probably should have. And initially, a couple weeks ago, when I did the full parts review, mentioned how this was a Tom Daniels kit. Well, it turns out this was built by a Kansas City customizer by the name of Ray Ray Farner. Of course, the vehicle itself based on 1850 style her horse-drawn hearse carriage, which is quite a unique thing to base the vehicle off of, which of course looks quite cool. Did go ahead around the edges, weather it up a little bit to show that it's been aged a little bit, give it more like of a haunted look, perhaps. A little bit of a slight issue of the back tire doesn't quite like to sit on the wheel back that much, but not too overly concerned. Now, on my previous video when I was working on it, had the exhaust mounted above the rear axle, which wasn't how it's supposed to be. Corrected that by putting the exhaust down below and having the kerosene lanterns mounted in their respective location to represent the brake lights. And of course, take the roof off, see the interior where with the coffin rollers, fuel tank, and the Chrysler Firepower 426 Hemi, which supposedly, from what I found, is the engine itself produced like 450 horsepower, which is quite an impressive amount given the era this vehicle was created in. So, yeah, overall looks quite happy with how it turned out. There's the front plate right here that I'm missing. I have it, I just didn't get around to painting it. And of course, since it's been getting colder out, if you can imagine, like getting into the end of the month, of course, getting to the end of October, early November, it's starting to get way colder there. Like, of course, in for those who use Celsius, about the -5 to +5, or for those in the U.S., between the 28 to 38 degree weather, somewhere around there. Yeah, so quite pleased how this pleased how it turned out. Now, actually, since we got one of the loose tires here, when I was putting everything together, don't think it was this one, but one of them, no, yeah, it would have been this one here. When putting the inner ring, putting the inner ring onto the tire, as it is a two-piece, or in this case, a three-piece wheel and tire set, the ring did end up breaking on me, so basically glued that together. But of course, when it's all painted, actually, I think this is the one, actually. You can sort of tell that there's a couple lines where the glue mark is, but overall can't really notice it too much with the paint over top. But with the yellow, you definitely could have noticed it. Yeah, but other than that, it's been a pretty good kit to work on. A lot more focus towards the painting aspect and just small casual detail work. So quite pleased. Yeah, so overall, quite pleased how it works. A little bit of the underside to it. Bit of weathering. Now the steering wheel, of course, in the instructions mention it being a mostly all black, a black outer ring with a wooden inner spoke. Fair do it a little bit differently, like in the style of like a Ford Model T. I have the wooden outer steering wheel, and then you have just the metal spokes that kind of contour upwards. So that's a little bit of style that I wanted to go with. Yeah, so overall quite happy with how the kit turned out. So definitely something that's getting added to the shelf right away after this. So yeah, quite pleased how that turned out. Now, not yeah, probably not. Then of course now probably a while for another holiday. So Christmas coming up in December. So who knows? Might do something for Christmas. But it'll see what comes around, and if and then of course either that or finish up on a couple other projects here and there. So of course, like if someone's been following the channel for a while, I'm sure you can mention that I have a bunch of other projects that still need to be worked on. Yeah, but for the time being, that's pretty much what's been going on with this. I'm quite pleased how it turned out, and glad I kept it for a while, as wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with the kit, the box itself as the box itself is a bit crunched up, and I know there are people out there that are constantly looking for this, so didn't really feel it would have been nice to sell this to someone who could have used it, but at the same time, I've had it already in my collection for about a year or so already. So having like a using it for Halloween is quite nice. So yeah, well, with that all said, I think that'll basically be it for this video. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.